Another day, another yearly high. Bitcoin is now testing prices above 51,700. And for your fun fact of the day, Bitcoin is 33% away from a new all-time high. At this point, being called a moon boy is a compliment. The moon boys are the ones making the money right now. But what I want to discuss is the trapped liquidity setup, which has now been initiated. On this channel, this has been part of our prediction for over a month, and it is now playing out. So let's dive in and analyze all of this and more in today's video. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svensson, and today we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. We are now seeing new yearly highs. If we look a little bit closer on this weekly chart, we have finally broken above that wick high. And for the past month, we've been talking about this setup. We were sitting down here after we got that hammer candle. I was saying if we actually start to race towards this high and we break above that 49,000 level, that's going to initiate a major short squeeze. And we have seen the squeeze begin. And in a trending market, this does convert from the size of that weekly candle to a 1 to 1.5. And that puts us up at about 60,600 or so. You could just say for a whole number target, the $60,000 level is the target. This candle is now set to squeeze up to that price level. And what I've noticed on this recent pump that we saw was a lot of people still trying to be skeptical and even taking short positions. I saw it all across social media. People were saying double top, right? Which is now no longer valid. We are well above the previous high. And people were talking about how Bitcoin's price is too high. They're going short. And what they forgot is the trend is your friend. Technical analysis can, and in many cases should be, simple. It doesn't have to be complex. If you're creating higher lows and higher highs and you're remaining within your trend, in this case, a parabolic trend, well, the trend is your friend. And shorting into momentum is a very dangerous move. You know how that saying goes, don't catch a falling knife, right? Where the market's coming down super hot and people just take random long positions and they try to catch a falling knife and they just get wiped out. Well, the same thing goes for the other direction. Don't catch a flying knife. If the knife is flying at you, don't try to catch it because you're gonna get cut. I don't know if I just made that up, but I'll go ahead and take credit for don't catch a flying knife. And so what we're getting now is the short squeeze. And I encourage all the perma bears to continue shorting the market because it provides the bulls with extra rocket fuel to the upside. All right, now all jokes aside, the bulls have the momentum. If you take your fibs from high to low, what we get is our first target sitting around 55,500. And this is coming in around that target zone that we discussed in the past video, which was the weekly candle cluster that actually sits closer to our short squeeze target around 60,000, and then the other candle close zone, which is about 57,500. This is another major area of resistance that I'm eyeing up. Now, I'm calling it a major area of resistance, and that is to be determined. It's a potential area of resistance. If you look at the past cycle, I mean, Bitcoin doesn't like to give second chances, right? 20,000. We went up to that level, had a little bit of resistance for a couple weeks, and just went straight through it. As of right now, the trend is our friend, and you don't want to be shorting momentum and trying to catch a flying knife. This parabolic trend line is the new trend line. And so what we're looking for ultimately is a push towards 57,500 to 60,000 before maybe getting some sort of consolidation. And if we start to close weeklies below that trend line, that's when I'm looking for a major long squeeze back to maybe as low as 44,000. That'll be the lowest before pushing up to new all-time highs. That is the post-halving dip scenario, which is something that, again, we will not be able to be sure of until we actually get confirmations of breaking below the trend line, etc., etc. If we maintain the uptrend line, well, then just like 2020, 2021, we may just get a little bit of resistance, but ultimately push into this resistance point and break out sooner rather than later. The halving could be a very bullish event for all I know. Overall, the prevailing trend is bullish. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. The stock market is, sitting at new all-time highs. The market opened 11 minutes ago and we're up almost 0.5% for the S&P 500. So I think what we're going to do is continue to break the expectations of the crowd. The crowd has been very wrong. The crowd was very bearish at these lows. and the crowd remained bearish going up into this trend. And only recently have we started to see a little bit of capitulation from the bears in their thesis, because clearly it has been decimated. So I am maintaining a bullish bias. And even if we do get rejection during or after the halving, ultimately I think it's just going to lead to a much larger parabolic expansion phase. The last video that I made on this channel was a video discussing my ultimate bull market target. But my ultimate targets are less to do with price. I don't really care about prices. I care about time. Honestly, I'll just let the market decide what the price target is, where the peak is, and I'll be looking to scale out at the 40 to 80th week zone, which is going to be January of 2025 to October of 2025. That is the expected profit end zone, October of 2025. So no matter where that is the target area. That's where you want to be scaling out, which means we have over a year, about a year to a year and a half of general bull market price action, general uptrends, parabolas expanding into larger parabolas. So yeah, I'm just going to let the market decide what the peak price is, and I'll just get out based on time. Go over to TradingView and check out the Bitcoin halving cycle profit indicator. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves with all of these predictions on the future, the main target range we have coming up is going to be 57,500 to 60,000 weekly previous candle body close cluster from 2021. I think that's where we're going to get the most resistance, and we'll see what happens from there. Whether we get a post-halving dip or not is to be determined. But if you guys like this kind of content where we actually stay on track with the trend, hit the like button, subscribe, and be sure to join the Patreon. The Patreon, the prices are going to be going up. We've been selling out a lot of slots, and we like to limit the amount of people. So as the market continues to go up, prices go up, but you can lock in these prices for a lifetime by joining today. So get in now while you have the opportunity. There is also an annual 16% discount currently available. Take it while it's there. We're going to be doing altcoin picks in this portfolio. I created a new portfolio using a smaller amount of money so that people could track the creation of that portfolio from a small amount of money to hopefully a very high amount of money in the end of this cycle. And we already have plans on how we're going to be taking profit and how we're going to be exiting, what tools we're going to be using for that. Be sure to join the Patreon, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.